So I just hopped in my car to start filming this video, and I walked out to a note on my car that said, "Love the videos and the car, keep up the good work," from the Silver GT. So I parked next to a Silver 5.0 Mustang earlier, right there, and shout out to you, bro. Thanks for the note. So what's going on, guys? Riley here from RP Productions, and today we're going to be talking about the brand new 2018 Dodge Demon that Dodge will be unveiling at the New York Auto Show sometime mid-April. This car is supposed to be like a higher level than a Hellcat. It's supposed to have crazy horsepower. It's supposed to be just super badass, but nobody knows what it is right now. So this video is going to be me guessing what this car is going to be. Now I know several other YouTubers such as Mike from Street Speed and SRT Mush. I mean, there's been a 100 people that have made videos kind of guessing on what they think it's going to be. Although I think my guesses and stuff are going to be a little bit different than theirs. So you guys can let me know in the comments below, what do you think this car is going to be? But here's what I think it's going to be. Alright, so the first two questions about this car that everybody wants to know are A, what is the horsepower, and B, how much is this sucker going to cost? Well, to answer the latter of those questions, I believe this car will be between $80,000 to $85,000 starting price. Horsepower, I believe, will be somewhere around 800 horsepower. Personally, I don't believe the horsepower is going to jump up just an incredible amount from the Hellcat 707, because I think they're going to use the exact same motor that is in the Hellcats. I think they might tune it differently, maybe add some more boost to it, possibly use a different supercharger, but generally I think it's going to be pretty much just a beefed up version of a Hellcat. So with just doing stuff to a Hellcat motor, I don't see the horsepower going up a tremendous amount. Why do I think they're going to keep the Hellcat motor in this car? Well, if you consider all the research and development cost and just, I mean, the cost in general to bring a new motor into production for a car company, it is a stupid amount of money. So I don't think that Dodge is going to invest a stupid amount of money into a vehicle that they're just going to have this motor in like one thing in their lineup. So it just wouldn't make any sense. It makes more sense for them to kind of save cost, use the Hellcat motor, and do stuff to that. Now, how I'm coming up with that $80,000 to $85,000 price range is because I believe they're going to beef up a Hellcat, like I said. So that means, you know, bigger and stronger axles, suspension components that are more beefed up. I believe what Dodge is going for with this car is pretty much a quarter-mile track-focused warrior. I don't think they're gonna all of a sudden come out of nowhere and Dodge is going to try to make a competitor that can go around corners, because let's be honest, Dodge is not known for making the lightest of all vehicles. So I don't think that they're going to go for like a road course monster, but I believe straight line warrior is what they're going for. So, you know, $80,000 to $85,000, to me that seems like a fair price. I don't think it's going to be, you know, $65,000 while a Hellcat's $60,000, because then who would buy a Hellcat? So I think Dodge is going to be smart about this one. They're going to price them enough apart where people won't try to compare them so much, even though everybody's going to compare them. And I also don't see it being over $100,000 towards like Viper territory. So I believe 80 to 85 is probably where it will end up. So what does this mean for Hellcats out there? Well, what this means is that Hellcats are about to become significantly more affordable now with a new top dog in the Dodge lineup. So if you have a Hellcat right now, you're probably a little bit disturbed by this news that, hey, your car's no longer the top dog. And, you know, that kind of sucks. So used Hellcats are going to be able to be found for ridiculously cheap prices for the amount of power you're buying. And even new Hellcats, I don't believe that they're going to, you know, hold their value nearly as much or as well, because let's be honest, like, the Hellcat was bought because like that was the cool thing to have, and they still are going to be cool things, but now it's like all the media is going to be focused on the Demon. So it just kind of sucks for Hellcat owners out there, and it sucks, you know, as a previous Scat Pack owner, it sucked for me when the Daytonas came out, because look at what's happening now. You can go into a Dodge dealership and buy a Scat Pack for like a stupid amount off sticker, but the Daytonas, they're not taking much off of them. The used price of Scat Packs has dropped significantly. Daytonas are holding their value better, and they will hold their value better. So the whole lineup, the market for Dodge cars right now is completely screwed up, especially if you go to like Dodge's like build your own car thing. There's like 800 different lineups of Chargers and Challengers to choose from. I mean, seriously, do you need that many, Dodge? So I guess another question that people are going to ask is, you know, with that added horsepower, with those added suspension components and making it a more, you know, straight line bullet, what kind of times is this car going to put down? Honestly, I believe this car is going to be capable of right around 10-second quarter mile times. I think that this thing's gonna be absolutely badass, and we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, nobody really knows at this point other than like the head engineers at Dodge, and they ain't saying a word. So it'll be really cool to see what this actually ends up being. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a Hellcat, just, you know, a beefed up Hellcat. And I think a lot of this hype is kind of being overdone for just, you know, a Hellcat with some bigger tires, wider wheels, and pretty much most of this stuff could be done to a Hellcat to make it a demon if you wanted to go in like the aftermarket parts for a Hellcat. I just can't see it being like a massively different car. I still think at the end of the day it's going to be a Challenger. I know there's been spy photos going around of like there's a Challenger driving around with like a wide body setup. That's probably what it's going to be. It's just going to be another Challenger with a lot of power, meant to go really fast in a straight line. I still think Dodge is going to keep the rear-wheel drive platform. I don't think that Dodge has an all-wheel drive platform that's capable of 800 horsepower. I also don't think that they're going to try to, you know, lose a bunch of weight and make it like a car that can actually corner comparable to like a GT350 or a ZL1. I think Dodge is going to stick to what they're good at, and that's making cars with a lot of horsepower go really fast in a straight line. Nevertheless, it's an incredible time to be alive right now, with Dodge coming out with the Demon, Ford coming out with the new GT500 very soon, and Chevy probably about to unveil their new Z28. I mean, just what a time to be alive. This is just awesome. Now, the reason I'm making this video right now is because Dodge has only unveiled one hint about this car, and that it's going to be called the Demon, and that it's coming out at the New York Auto Show. However, up until the New York Auto Show, Dodge is going to be unveiling, I guess, like a couple hints or one hint at least every week leading up to the Auto Show. And Dodge claims that by the New York Auto Show, we're going to know the price, we're going to know like pretty much everything about this car. However, this is week one, nothing has been announced yet, so everybody's just, you know, making speculations and guesses. This is my guess. We'll have to wait and see New York Auto Show what it ends up being. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think it's gonna be? Do y'all think I'm kind of underplaying it and being like meh about it? Or do y'all think it's gonna be some 1,000 horsepower crazy car with a new motor and just, who knows? Like I said before, if you're in the market for a Hellcat, the market's about to be in your favor. If you have a Hellcat, the market is not in your favor. It's a prime example of why Dodge marketing is #1 and why their service department needs to take some notes. So I know that was a short video for you guys. I just wanted to get my guess out there before all the new hints start rolling out. The new hint, I believe, is going to be coming out tomorrow if you're watching this on day one. But like I said, there's going to be hints coming out every week up until the New York Auto Show mid-April. So stay tuned for more Dodge Demon news. It will be interesting to see what this car ends up being. But I appreciate you guys watching this video. I will see you on the next one. Take it easy.